Canada's Treaty No. 2 is a treaty signed in 1871 by the Crown, and Anishnaabe and Swampy Cree First Nations of southwestern Manitoba and southeastern Saskatchewan. It is a treaty of peace, friendship and mutual understanding between the nations. The treaty was meant to provide the First Nations with the same rights and benefits as those of Treaty No. 1, which was also signed in 1871. Both treaties focused on the right to use and possess the land, the right to hunt, trap, and fish, and the right to be supported by the Crown in their efforts to develop the land. The treaties are meant to ensure that the First Nations have a share of the profits from any resources found on or in the land and water, such as minerals, timber, fur, fish, and so on. As with Treaty No. 1, Treaty No. 2 also focused on the political relationship between the First Nations and the Crown. It affirmed a government-to-government relationship and provided for the First Nations to be represented in the federal government. Treaty No. 2 is a significant agreement that has had a lasting impact on the relationship between the Crown and First Nations in Canada. The treaty contains assurances for the education of First Nations people as well as the creation of reserves for them. It established a legal framework for the relationship between the nations and set out the rights and benefits that all parties could expect. It is because of these treaty rights that colonial institutions such as mining companies, railroads, shipyards, farms, policing and the justice system could be established. As such, Treaty No. 2 is an important document that has helped to shape the modern relationship between the Crown and First Nations in what is now Canada.